All right, all right. So is anybody on this chat? I'm just trying to figure things out. Trying to see how I can see who's in here, which is pretty interesting. So just be patient with me. But if you ask me, you have a question to ask me, that'd be cool too. Because, like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. But how am I going to learn if I don't just go ahead and do it? What's up? What's up? Yeah, let's talk, man. You're the only one in here with me right now. Yeah, you guys following the market today. If you're looking at APE, man, I'm looking at 465. Whew. Man, that's low. That is low. Sorry, some of my questions are on slow mode, so I'm really trying to figure this out. But yeah, if you have any questions, man, throw it up there. Let's talk. I think that's what I do best. I talk. Or some people would say, you never shut up. All right, man. Let's talk, brother. Has Adam Aaron said anything about the naked shorts, or the failure to deliver? Yeah, no. I mean, if you're on Twitter, I mean, everybody's putting pressure on him. There's another guy. I don't know if you follow Froggy Stonks. He's like, I don't know, pissed off, mad, whatever, just putting pressure on Adam Aaron just to like give us an answer, right? I mean, that's what I did too. I think I tweeted, if you didn't follow me on Stock Mafia, what I got? Stock Mafia 2022 on Twitter. I tweeted the same thing. I mean, what I don't know. I don't have a lot of followers right now. I had a different account, so when I changed over to the YouTube side, I set that up. But yeah, I mean, we're not hearing anything, which is kind of disturbing, right? I mean, for me, it's disturbing because it's like he responds to stuff like that, right? And then all of a sudden, it's a ghost town. I mean, obviously, he's paying attention to it. It's just a question of when. I mean, if you have watched any of my videos before, Manny, it's just really a question of like, I don't know. What I see. So just give you a little background on me. I mean, I trade for a living, but I have a small business on the side, and I used to be a school teacher, a business teacher for a long time, but I trade now full time. Yeah, I'm with you. It does seem weird that he's quiet. Like it's just, you know what it is. I think it's just this is so big. This is so big that I just think that I think when this thing explodes, I think bad things are coming. Not for us, not for those people that are invested in the AMC GameStop side. I own both. I don't know if you own both. I'm just gonna put that in the chat if anybody's just watching. And what happened was when I was trading AMC 2 years ago, and then when it ran up, I was like, well, I didn't know what was most shorted, but at the time, if you've been in it for a long time, how long have you been in this play? Keeps telling me slow mode is on these questions. I don't know if that's for me or for you. But I've been in this play since January of 2021. I guess that's when it all started. I bought like 10 or 12 shares at like $9 because I had some money in my Webull account. and then all of a sudden I started reading about it. I'm like, damn, like this is nuts. Something's going on here. So what's up? What's up, Mr. Simon? What's happening, man? Yeah, we're just talking. All I'm doing is just I'm trying out the live stream. Never did it before. I guess when you first start with like the YouTube thing, like you can't. I'm trying to figure out if I can even share a screen, which I don't even think I'm allowed to do that yet. So I'm just gonna sit there and yap. But oh yeah, so man, you've been AMC and GameStop since 2020. All right. So you probably bought in like December, going into Bed Bath, originally started with Tesla. Nice. Yeah, the Tesla thing. I mean, hopefully you made some money on that. I was never into that. I mean, not that I couldn't have been. I tell you what, I made a lot of money back a few years ago when I was into Neo. But man, I'm a dummy when it comes to the market right now. And I don't mean that in a weird way. I mean it because I only know about AMC and GameStop and whatever trickles down, like the Bed Bath and Beyond, because you're like, oh, that's Ryan Cohen. What's going on with that? Which that's pretty interesting too. So we talk about Adam Aaron being quiet. The same thing with Ryan Cohen, like being quiet. It's just like, where's he? He's sending all his little cryptic riddles through Twitter, if you follow him on Twitter, and he's disappeared. I think it has to do with the suicide of the Bed Bath & Beyond CFO. I think he's kind of been advised to just keep quiet now. Kind of like the way DFV, deep bleeping value, has kind of fallen off the ledge. Mr. Simon, you an AMC or GME? You both? But I mean that's how I see it, guys. Is just that these CEOs they need to respond. Adam Aaron, if you watch my video, I think this video I put up last night. I just I screenshotted just what nice, yeah, just like me exactly, which is nuts, right? So I remember buying into it, and then I'm sure you guys are the same way. Like I have a few buddies that kind of do the same thing. They more talk to me than I talk to them, just based off of the fact that I do this full time and I'm heavy into it. So it's like I'm paying attention to it like 24/7. So my wife always says, "Get off your phone." Right? Get off your phone. Or my kids, Dad's always on his phone. Like, Dad's working. Shut up. But yeah, I mean, I've been in this play since 2021, and it's been a wild ride. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I have my days probably like you guys do. I'm like, come on, man. But I don't know. I'm pretty positive right now. I'm always looking at the market, and right now I'm just like cheering for it to go down. When there's a couple indicators that I use. I don't know how you guys are with the market in this respect, but right now, like staring at Bitcoin and Ethereum, when those go down, I get excited because that's just, for me, that's like hedge funds like liquidating, in my opinion. For a few days later, ran up to 22. Yeah. I mean, I listen, I'll be honest, because I was only in the play for 4 months when it ripped to 72. I'm not trying to say I wasn't with the ape community and all that stuff, because some people get mad when they hear this. I sold some. I do this for a living. I sold some, but I sold a small bit. So, and I actually went into GME and bought some more GameStop. So I don't think there's anything wrong with taking some profit. And now that this thing, I mean, look at if again, this is really like, I love when stuff is on like the down low. And I have brokerage. I have shares in a few brokerage accounts, and one of them's Vanguard. And I legitimately look at Vanguard as probably the best. That's just opinion based, but you know, listen, none of us can invest in BlackRock unless you're like a big time player. And I don't know what kind of stuff they get into. Was holding the Nokia 21, but bye bye. Yeah, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, taking that loss. I'm just reading a question here. It says was holding the Nokia on January 2021, but he took a $10,000 loss after he saw a $10,000 gain. Yeah, I've been there, man. I've been there. 6 or 7 years ago, I was into a company, and this is when I first started trading. So I'm 48 years old. I'm not. I'm not one of these YouTube kids. Nothing against anybody that's on this and doing their thing, and they got their followers, and they got their they got their stuff going on and their little toys in the background. But for me, like I can't take advice from somebody who hasn't been trading for a long time. And I feel like I've got enough. I feel like I'm still in the minor leagues with this stuff, but I've had a few lumps over the time. But I was in a company called Stonemore. Don't ask. I mean, it was a funeral company, and it was somewhere. Some guy had mentioned it to me. I looked into it, and I was like, it looks good. It was trading at like $25, and it was a former. This is interesting. Now looking at it today, it was a former Goldman Sachs guy who was like in the company. He was like chairman of board. He wasn't CEO. And I was like, all right, well, funerals. I mean, you can't lose money in the funeral business because I didn't know anything, right? I just thought like you buy a stock, it's a fundamentally good company, they have no debt, and then eventually it'll go up. Well, that's what I thought back then. And man, this thing went from $25, and one day I woke up, it was $12, and a couple days later, it was like $6, and I was down big. So I'll just say I won't tell you the exact amount I was big, but I was down at least 50K big. And that hurt. That hurt. I got kicked in the nuts. I mean, that should really be that should be the name of my YouTube channel. I've been kicked in the nuts so many times, maybe you want to listen to me. So if you have any friends that want to listen to somebody who says, I've been kicked in the nuts so many times, you might want to listen to me because I try to not take that many risks. Been holding 4,000 shares of AMC for a long time. God, everyone to rip so I can get it. Dude, I'm with you, man. I don't know if you guys watch anybody. I get pissed off. Like I start screaming at myself in this whole play. I mean, you're holding this long. I'm with you. Like I'm in agreement with chat. It's just like I'm frustrated as all get out, man. I feel like I don't know how you guys feel, but sometimes you're like, man, like I get in my own head sometimes, but I try to stay positive and try to look at what's happening. I mean, I'm like, man, I'm a loser. What did I do? Why did I make that decision? But we're not losers. We're not stupid. We're being robbed, right? We're being robbed. I mean, I keep looking to my left because I have my chart running up, and it's just like, I mean, AMC right now at 894, APE's at 468. The only positive I can take from that is if you look at APE, it was at 440 was the low 2 weeks ago. Feels like 2 years ago. But I wouldn't feel dumb for not selling at 70. Honestly, I wouldn't, because you read the path the right way, because I didn't sell at 72. If I would have sold my whole position when it ran, let's just say, because you're never going to sell at the top. So I think 72 was the top. Let's say you sold at 65 or you sold in the 60s. Why would you have done that? I mean, this thing was running and you could see it. And I trade on so many variables. Like social media is very helpful. Obviously, you get to hear what people are talking about and how many people are in the volume. Yeah, but if I would have sold, I'm with you. If I would have sold my whole position at 70, that'd have been good. And then we could have bought back at 12 or at 14. Knowing me, I would have got excited. I would have bought back when it was in the 30 and 40 range for like 3 or 4 months, which was around this time last year. We were trading in the 30, 40 range. So, I mean, I get it, man. I get it. Yeah, thanks for everybody coming in. If we're just talking AMC, GME, more AMC. There's more of us. There's more AMC than GME, where the GME guys are like silent. I don't believe in all that hype about, one hates another. That's the stupidest freaking thing I've ever heard. It's so stupid. Any idiot, most people are just buying both. The only reason you might have not bought GameStop is for almost all the 2 years until they did this split. It was $200. And it's like, nah, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm just gonna buy AMC. So yeah, I'm with you, man. It's stupid. I think that's just chill fun. I don't know what their angle is. I mean, I'm saying stuff that probably you guys all agree with. I mean, dumb. The thing with these guys, like the Wall Street people, and I've experienced a lot of them just in passing. I'm outside of Philadelphia, so we're relatively close to New York. So, when I've grown up in this area, we have a lot of, financial people that might like take the train into New York City and stuff like that. So with my father, I was in business with my father for a little bit, and just, him and I talk all the time, and he runs into people, and he's, the point I'm trying to make is these guys, they've been running the same playbook for 200 years, or let's just say 100 years. So in my opinion, running that same playbook all the time, if it's broke, don't fix it. And they've been doing the same thing over and over. All right, this is what we do. We pick two companies and we say, all right, we're going to go heavy on this stock and we're going to kill this stock. And maybe and let's be honest with you, I believe they did this with Amazon. I think they went heavy on Amazon and said, all right, let's kill their competitors, and let's go hard on their competitors. I mean, I think Amazon's a great company, and I used to own it. And to be honest with you, I was telling you that story how I got kicked in the nuts by losing a lot. Amazon saved my ass because I bought it when it was like $500. Saved my ass. So I can't say they're a bad company, but if they were ever in the mix for all this, because Bezos is like a former hedgy guy, so he has friends. And if they were involved in this to kill this competition, but I'm going off on different tangents here. But my point is the Wall Street guys have been running the same playbook over and over again. And it's like Manny's saying in the chat, it's like paid promotions, paid articles, like bashing articles, getting into social media. I mean, I just got banned on Reddit for no reason. I put something in there that I guess offended one of the mods, and to be honest with you, I think some of those mods that are now in there, they're just looking, it's like, all right, let's check 5. Oh, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. All right, let's kill him, right? You got banned too. It's like, what did and this just happened. Like, this just happened like a couple days ago. And now I can't even comment. Like, I thought maybe like, oh, I can't post anything. Not that, like, sometimes I would post stuff and I wasn't like self-promoting because, like I said, you guys see this. I mean, my subscribers are very low. My views are low. And I just started doing this a couple of weeks ago. And it's just wild, man. I was like, but I would put stuff up that was like legit, like articles that I find and be like, nope, you're out. Closed. So I don't even know how stuff even gets up there. I really think, I know that the Wall Street bets thing, that's an easy play to figure out. Once they figured out what they got the hedgies got all their guys in there now, and they just run the show in that forum. But the AMC stock, and then even I'm not banned in Super Stonk. I'm very careful with them. They scare me. The GameStop. I will tell you this. if we are enemies, I'm very careful in the super stonk. I don't try to post anything because I know that they're quick to, and I get it. They run a tight ship in there, and they just want to talk GameStop. And I'm like, well, what are we going to talk about with GameStop? Nothing's happening. And talk about frustration with a CEO or a chairman of the board. I mean, I know Matt Furlong is GameStop's CEO, but I'm more frustrated than Ryan Cohen because, to be honest with you, I'm a grown ass man. I don't need your little cartoon emoji BS, honestly. And to be honest with you, I don't need free movie tickets either. Don't give me free movie tickets to Kong Godzilla. Give me that stuff when this thing runs. When this runs, give me that stuff. Let's talk. I'm not banned from Reddit yet. Yeah, yet. That's because you're not posting. You got to get that post game going, man. You got to get that post game going. Start posting some stuff. Post one of my videos. Share on my videos. Be like, oh, this guy is really, he really knows his stuff. You'll get banned. Don't say anything. They say, oh, dude, I did some DD. This guy really dug into, look at this video about the Catholic Church. I don't know if you guys watch that video. But I was just talking to my buddy actually right before I hit on the stream, and he's calling me and he's like, yo, man, I don't know, but I think I should buy some APE. And I said, I don't know what you should do. I was like, I don't have any money left, so you can go get whatever you want. But I said to him, I said, I really think that September, there's so much stuff going down. And I think Pal's talking like in like 2 days, September 20th, 21st. There's like a 2-day meeting. So, but my thing was the Catholic Church. That thing just like shook me up, man. Now I'm not an ultra religious person, and I'm not going to get into that side of things, but I'm like, they have money. They have a lot of money. Before I posted my video, I did some research on it and found out, and the numbers were all over the place. It said in 2008 they had 11 billion in assets, and then other articles said in 2009 they had 8 billion in assets. And I was like, man, they got more money than that. They have more money than that. I mean, think about it. If we're going back to the 100-year playbook, back in the day, like, you went to your priest for everything. He probably was your financial advisor. He probably said, give me all your money and I'll give it to the Lord. But, they got money. So $33 billion is what's on the books right now. So the Pope tells all the entities outside the Catholic Church, get your money in the Vatican Bank by September 30th. And I'm like, dude, that's a big freaking deal. And, I don't know how you guys assess things, but my mom's like 77, 76. My mom watches CNN and MSNBC. Like, she knows the script. And I always say, Mom, and I tell her all this stuff, and she goes, I didn't see that on the news. And I'm like, yeah, Cax, you didn't see it on the news. Because they don't show you that stuff. The news is not real. It's not real. You can watch the NBC side or the Fox side. It's whatever they want to tell you is real. It's their truth. It's not our truth or the truth. So it's kind of funny. I use my mom as that barometer of, hey, Mom, have you seen that, Citadel is overly shorted every stock in the stock market, blah, blah, blah. No, I haven't heard about that. I said, oh, okay, good. It must be true. It must be true. Yeah, guys, hit me up. I guess we got 5 people in here. This is my first stream, just to let those people that rolled in here, and I have no idea what I'm doing except just talking with everybody. And if you have any questions for me, feel free. I'm nobody special. I'm just like you. I got kids. I got a job. I work from home, so I'll have times that I can do this and figure this out. I probably have to get some sort of special software to like share my screen and all that. I'm a business and computer teacher, so you think I would be able to figure that out. It's not a question of figuring out. It's just a question of what they're gonna charge me when I try to get this stuff. It's like, oh, become a YouTube influencer for $300 a month. We'll sell you all your software. It's like, yo, dog, I didn't make that kind of money to be paying all that for some software. Talk to me when I've got a whole bunch of followers and maybe I don't know, whatever. You get it. You get it. So yeah, we're just talking about like getting banned from Reddit and stuff. I mean, I was banned. I was banned from AMC stock, and then I was banned by one of the smaller ones. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess you guys don't want to hear what I have to say. Not that I'm anything special, but I mean, and I got built my karma up with just talking. I mean, I guess you only way you can stay on Reddit is probably if you just keep saying this is the way, right? give us some Mandalorian because that for 6 months it was all that everybody ever posts. And that's the only thing that gets on my nerves with Reddit is people post really good stuff and then people start getting like silly. But it's all good. We need humor. We need humor. So we're still staring at this. I mean, I don't know. Red is good. My last message is blocked. It means that is true. On Reddit or just from the chat? Yeah, if your message was blocked, it's definitely. Well, that's the thing too. Like, I went back into my stuff and I was like, "Damn, what did I say? I must have." I start like taking notes, highlighting words. What's my key word here? It's gonna run October. Actually, that's what I did say. I said September is when all the catalysts come out, and let's see what October looks like. And then somebody said something, I violated the laws or rules of this forum. And this, like, there's no jury. It's just like they just kick you out. But at least I can view it. I don't need to say anything. I have YouTube now. I can tell the world what I need to hear, or what I want people to hear. Yeah, I think I was telling a story about my buddy calling me and just telling me he's looking to get some APE. And I was like, dude, it's not a bad thing. I don't think. The chat was blocked. It means it's true. Yeah. I don't know if I'm asking you guys. I got to get rid of this. Slow motion is on. So how the hell do I turn it off? Create a poll, add a reaction. I'll figure this out here eventually. Or next time I set that up, I won't. Yeah, I do have this slow mode on. I have absolutely no idea how. Oh, here we go. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'll turn it off. It's not like I have like 1,000 people in here. Allow. God damn it. Oops, sorry. Sorry, I'm just looking at trying to get slow motion off of the. Oh, there we go. Boom. Nice. All right. I think it's off now. All right. So now everything. It was more fun was on slow. We could question things. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Now we can talk. So I'm like, yeah. So if you're in here, just shoot some questions. Yes, sweet. I figured it out. I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is. That was like British Gump. I think that was my British Gump. Yeah, so I'm going back to my buddy was talking about buying more APE, and I don't. With the 43 million FTDs out there and it being like public knowledge, I mean, I'm waiting. I know Manny was asking. I was like, "What's going on with Adam Aaron?" And I was like, "I know, man. I mean, he doesn't post." And the funny thing is, you got to check your Twitter. So I'm like always on my phone because there's another thing that they do. I don't get any notifications from like the real people that I really want, like Ryan Cohen. When he tweets, I don't get his notifications. Adam Aaron, when he tweets, I don't get his notifications. Any of the people that I really want to hear from, I don't get any of their notifications. It just shows we're right. I mean, it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating as anything. Thoughts? I go back and forth. You guys would probably agree with me. So this is my theory on this. And I think it's a pretty good theory. He created APE because he wanted to get in on this play with us. I just think that's because honestly, he had no more shares left. I think he was probably like us a little bit. Like if you sold on that run up to 70, like sold some shares, let's say you had 1,000 shares and you sold 200 on the run up. I don't blame you. I did the same thing. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you. I'm not going to be one of those guys. Like I'm just not. I'm just going to be me and just tell you what I do. You know, not financial advice. I love how we have to keep saying that. But my thoughts on Adam Aaron is like he sold at like 42 on the run up when it was going to 70. He sold a buttload of shares, and then he's buying or unloading some other shares that were on some weird side thing that he had with Mudrick Capital. He sold them 10,000 shares. He didn't put them in the open market. And then Mudrick just turned around and sold them right to a hedge fund, and they shorted the stock back down. I mean, I don't think he was in tune with what was going on. I think that was a prick move, in my opinion. Just not understanding his shareholders. I don't know. You don't get to be a CEO without kissing a lot of behinds. That's how I view it. I just don't think you don't get there by doing that and without doing that. So, and I think as it kind of unfolded, Adam Aaron didn't have any more shares to sell. He made a ton of money. He got bonused out. I think something like, and everything with me is rough numbers, but it's relatively close. My memory is like unbelievable when it comes to these two freaking stocks. I think he got like $12 million. I mean, dude, like I told you, if I didn't even mention, I'm from Philly, so I live outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So yeah, he owns a portion of the 76ers. Dude ain't struggling. He ain't struggling like we are. He's not grinding. He ain't grinding the way we grind. But when this whole thing went down, like Adam Aaron I just think that he wanted a piece. Because if this squeeze, when we had that run up like a month ago, it seems like 2 years ago, when it was at $28 before APE was dropped or even before the announcement was made, he didn't have any shares to sell. So let's say it ran to $1,000, 5,000, whatever. All right, Allentown, PA. I went to Kutztown University a long time ago. I got my marketing degree from KU, Kutztown University. And a lot of you are listening going, what the hell is that school? Exactly. Small school in Pennsylvania. So going back to my Adam Aaron stuff. So I think he dropped APE because it's a good, bad thing. I mean, I think he figured this out. And I think we're going to hear from him very soon, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, because I see these 2 weeks as very, very, very big for us as a shareholder base on the AMC side because of all the stuff that's coming down. You're just seeing now more stuff's going down in China, and that's talk about stuff that gets blocked on Twitter. You catch a Chinese tweet about revolution and people protesting, man, that thing disappears quick. So screenshot that if you want proof. Yeah, I just think Adam Aaron dropped APE, and you can put in the chat if you agree with me or not. I mean, it's just, I think he just did it because on this run up now he's got 5 billion shares to sell. And to be honest with you, the way it looked, and I was making a point previous, so I'll go back to it about the Vanguard stuff. And then somebody asked me a question, but he's got 5 billion shares. He might be able to sell all those APE. And I made a video of Adam Aaron's playbook. I mean, I think he's going to start dropping APE probably in 30s, 40s, 50s. And whatever side you see it, I do believe that once he gets word that he sold, it's going to go down. But then it's also going to run up. Because if they're going to actually cover and government's not going to just walk in here, which I'm very surprised that we have not get like a payoff. I'm just surprised about that, honestly, because I don't know how this whole thing is going to play out because it's so big. But that's how I see Adam Aaron. He's a CEO and he's got to take care of his company, but he's a CEO. I mean, you got ego bigger than our houses, right? He had to get his piece. So, that's how I view it. But one of the points that I was making before with Vanguard, that's one of the brokerages I have my stuff with. But when that whole thing went went up where they had 50 billion shares outstanding on AMC, and it sat there all day. All day. So all that nonsense where people are like, oh, that's a glitch. It was there all day. And Vanguard, if you've ever traded on their platform, it sucks. Like, it's not innovative. Like, that's the one thing about like some of these apps, especially the newer ones and the ones that will remain nameless that we do not trade on, but they use the color green. They're very easy to use, user-friendly, good charts, all this stuff, but they put some money into it to lure you in while they short your investment. But I mean, Vanguard just having those 50, I think it was 52 or 50 billion shares outstanding on AMC, and then they're like, oh yeah, that's a glitch. Dude, where did that number come from? Like, come on. It was up there all day. I think when they're plugging in all these numbers, they have to, it's like they have to keep two books. It's like the Al Capone thing. He had one book that, if he got busted, he could turn into the government. And he had the other book where he was making all the real money. And I think there's two books in a lot of places. A lot of conspiracy theories in my mind, but I think, and I'm sure you guys are all in the same boat. It's just there's a lot of truth to it. Yeah, if you tapped in here just to see me ramble on, but yeah, just make sure you like and subscribe. I know that sounds, I hate when people do that, but it just makes things, it's fun to talk to people, honestly. I think it's cool to have a community of people. I mean, for me, I've kind of been looking for someone like myself, so I just figured, why not me? Just somebody who's been around the block, had a bunch of jobs, success. I mean, I'm not poor, but I'm not rolling it either. I still get pissed off when the mechanic says that I have to put 4 new tires on my car. That's always like a killer for me. It's like my worst news. It's like, you got to be kidding me. I got to give you that much money for 4 new tires. But yeah, anybody have any more questions for me? I love talking about this stuff. I hate all those rich people. So DJ, I hate how these rich people won't let the stocks go up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like they made a bet. And they lost. And to be perfectly honest with you, if you're following, you remember it was about 8 months ago, the London Metal Exchange had this like Chinese billionaire who made this bet, and he would have lost his whole fortune. And they just shut it off. They said, nah. It ran up to 100,000. I think they halted it. And he said, I'm not paying. And they said, well, you willing to pay? He's like, I'll pay 50,000. So anybody that sold their shares past 50,000 or 50,000, and people sold at the top, they only paid out at 50,000. And then he went back and shorted it again. That's ridiculous. I mean, I'm skeptical of all that stuff, especially with Chinese. I shouldn't say Chinese. It's like CCP, like communist government type stuff that they're involved. If there's no independent businessmen or businesswomen out there just doing their thing, they get a piece of everything. That's why that Alibaba CEO said some things about the government, and then he disappeared for a couple months. Then he came back and he doesn't talk anymore. So must have had a rough 3 months. And that guy's he's worth probably like 30 or 40 billion dollars. And they set him straight. But I'm with you, DJ. It's just like I hate that it should run. I mean, I contemplate making a video, and I'll kind of like talk to you a little bit about it, because I don't want to like sway anybody any certain type of way. And I don't want to be negative, but I will say this: it's not going to 500K. It's just not. It's not. It sucks. It sucks. I want it to. I don't know what the top looks like. You guys could put in the chat what you think the top looks like. I'm very careful to say that stuff publicly because I don't want to get blasted for it. Because I don't want to ruin anybody's dreams, but I want everybody to stay safe. I mean, what I think is going to happen is I think it can run. Listen, in the right spot, like, yeah, it could go to 100K. Like, that's where it should go, especially if there's as many synthetic shares out there as they say there are. Yeah, it should go to 100K, but I think it's going to be like the London metal exchange thing that went down. Is they're just going to get it to a certain number, and they might just halt it. They can halt a stock for, I think the rule is 30 days, but what are rules? They just do that. They can hold it for a year. They can say it's under investigation, so it's sell only. I mean, they change the rules as it goes. So, I mean, who disagrees with me that say this thing runs to 1,500 a share, and then they halt it for 3 months, and then all of us are sitting there staring at it, and eventually, like, what are we doing? Like, we're sitting there making decisions. Oh, do I sell? Do I sell half? That's kind of how I view it. Is that's one of my theories, that why wouldn't they would just run it up and then halt it and make up some nonsense with all their legal mumbo jumbo and just say, oh, it's going to stop. So, and just halt it at, say, 1,500, I don't know, 2,500. I don't know. I mean, who knows what they will and won't do. But if you even do the math, and I wonder sometimes the numbers that they released, I'm trying to remember, maybe somebody can remember for me. What was the SEC greenhouse these hedges for like $63 trillion. That just means like they're able to use money in people's pension funds. Hard to get out of squeeze. Yeah, Simon's saying hard to get out of squeeze plays because of the halts. Yeah. I think the halts right now are like a good sign, because it just shows that they're just so screwed. See, the greed is what gets me. The greed is what gets me, is like, how many yachts and houses do you need, right? Like, I just think the greed gets me. If you guys are from the United States, I mean, I talked to my parents about this. I just find things are harder for us than they were for them. You always see the meme where it's like, I don't know if you saw this meme where it's the guy, he's like, it says, this is John, and he's a VCR TV repairman, and he has a house in the suburbs, and he has 2 kids, and he goes on vacation he goes on 2 weeks of vacation to the seashore or something like that. And I'm like, that's not a reality for a lot of people. And especially doing a job like that where you're a TV VCR repairman, things are harder. Things are more expensive. I was a school teacher for a good amount of time, and salary in the suburbs in Pennsylvania is decent. It's probably one of the top paying teaching gigs in the United States. And just for standard of living purposes, it probably pays pretty well, but the teachers were getting paid the same 15 years back. So say you were making $65,000 today. They were making $65,000 15 years ago. Well, a lot of things are a lot cheaper 15 years ago than they are today. Look at the price of cars. Cars is ridiculous. I bought into Blue Vaccine Waters a few months ago at 67 because I believe a Chinese girl on Instagram kept insisting buy shares in that company, but that stock never went up and it just dropped. And yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff, man. I mean, as long as you're not like losing your butt, it's just be careful when people are recommending stuff that you don't know. So I will give you my philosophy, and I think this will go well for. There's 8 of us in here, and I would love to see. I have no idea how I can like see the names. Maybe I'm not allowed to. Only if you put like a question. Whatever. You guys probably know more about streaming than I do. I'll figure it out. But one of my rules is don't buy something that you don't like or don't understand. And I'm guilty of doing that. When I bought that Stonemore stock, I got killed. Why the heck was I buying a stock in a funeral home business? It makes no freaking sense. So I'm a dumbass when it comes to that. But we all make our moves. Buy something you like, buy something you understand. Perfect example. So I like to play sports. I like Under Armour. I think Under Armour is a cool company. I like their clothes. So if I'm thinking of getting into that type of business, I'm like, all right, I could do this. And then you look at the stock and go, well, right now what's Under Armour trading at now? I think it was at like $9. I don't have it up on my chart right now because I don't own it. But I look at that and I go, okay, well, I own Under Armour and I swing trade. So if it runs tomorrow to 12 and I can get out, let's say I have like 1,000 shares, I get out and then, I make a couple $1,000. Woohoo, it's awesome. But let's say it's at 9 and it goes down to 7. Well, yeah, I'm pissed off, but I still own Under Armour. I still believe in the company. See, that's the one thing that I do that might be like, I might hold a lot of stuff short term, but I'm prepared to hold it long. So I don't know what anybody else has any type of philosophies they want to put in that might help us out. But for me, like I just buy stuff that I like and understand. Like all these pharmaceutical companies, especially if you look on StockTwits, I guarantee I'm going to look on my phone right now. You look on StockTwits right now, there's probably some pharma trending. And it's probably up like 45% or something stupid. Let me see. Well, Moderna's down. That probably has something to do with what's a rum? Oh, Rumble. Yeah, I saw that Rumble. That's actually up today. People have been pushing that. I'm just careful, man. When people start pushing stuff, I try not to make quick decisions and feel like I'm missing out, because if you feel like you're missing out and you even have that thought in your head, oh man, I think I missed out. You did miss out. Yeah. The past couple of days, there's been a whole bunch of pharmaceutical companies. I don't understand that stuff. I don't know about any of that. I don't know about finding cancer, saving drugs. I don't understand that stuff. AMC was easy for me. When I was buying at 13, 9, 7, 5, AMC was easy for me because I was like, dude, this is a $24 stock. Still is. And I'm like, it's actually worth more. I think a lot of people have done analysis of that stock and they're like, it's a $60 stock without all this BS behind it. That's the funny part is, and if they let APE get to where it needs to go, and I believe it should get, if it's another squeeze play, that's the crazy part. Is in the beginning when I first got APE, I was like, yo, this gets $30 to $50. Like, Adam Aaron's gonna dump, but if he dumps shares, that is gonna make AMC worth a hell of a lot more. And that's what they're afraid of. All right. So sorry, I'm talking. I'm getting halted. Couldn't sell my position until $35. See, that's the thing too, man. So yeah, you get when you get a halt and then they don't even allow you to sell. It's like, what the hell am I buying? That's what's wrong with this market. This market is just straight crap right now. Crap. And now everybody's trying to say, oh, let's get into the crypto exchange. Okay. Crypto is going to be the same thing. Same players are involved. So when trying to get out Blue Vaccine, hold on a second. Did you just post this? Oh, different. Trying to get out Blue Vaccine waters, I had a sell order, say $65. Then after hold open at 55, and my order got rejected. Then tried to sell, and I couldn't sell. So yeah. Yeah, one thing too is if you guys don't know this, if you're new to this whole thing, you set those limit losses, they're going to come and get it. It's like I look at everything with sports analogies. It's like you put out you put out like, here's our play. We're gonna run up the middle. This is my football analogy, and you give the play out. Maybe it's even soccer, whatever. But you're telling the enemy what you're doing, and they can do flash crashes with stocks. So it could be sitting at $60, and you've got a stop loss at 20, and within like 2 minutes, they'll go down, grab that stop loss at 20, and you won't even be able to, take a sip of water, and it's back up to 55. And you're like, what happened to the sell? And you look at the chart and you're like, oh my God, look at that red candle. It was a 30-second red candle. And they're like, oh, and I think they've tried to like stop that. But as you can see, like nobody watches these guys. And if somebody's watching them, they work for them. So another order at 50 got halted, open 45, order got rejected, and so on. Very hard to get out until I lost. Yeah. Well, at least you got out. What's it at now? I mean, what is the symbol? I'll look at it. See, the thing is, like, I know it sounds funny, but like I'll continue to stream because I enjoy this. I appreciate everybody being here. I won't touch something that I don't understand. And no, I watch Trey. I think Trey's cool. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's actually, and I don't mean this, but he's probably the one guy that I get it, but he's very much into technical analysis. And right now, technical analysis to me means nothing. It literally means nothing. Not when these guys are just struggling. I mean, even with Bitcoin dropping today, and then it popped up a little bit because it was at 18,000 something today, and now it's back at 19,000. Who's to say that there's not synthetic Bitcoins out there? And everybody's like, no, it's the blockchain. It can be followed. What does that mean? How do I follow the blockchain? I mean, I got it. I understand the principle of it, but is there some website I can go on and make sure that everything's legit? And then you find out these crypto exchanges are owned by Citadel and Fidelity and Bank of America. It's like, wait a second, aren't those the guys that we're fighting against? So, I mean, that's the one thing that kills me is they just keep trying their same moves. And I'm like, dude, this ain't right. Maybe it's my conscience. Like, listen, I want money. I got it. Like, whew. Well, at least you're out, dude. 255. So at least you're out. Yeah, I mean, for me, when I was in Stonemore and it got hammered down all the way under $1 and I had bought at 25, I had averaged my way down. This is a crazy story. And I lost a ton of money. And I waited and I waited. And 3 years later, I got out because I had averaged down so much. I got out. It ran up to like $2.25. And I actually made money. I got lucky. This is not like, oh, look at me. I made money. I got lucky. I took a risk buying in when it really dropped because the fundamentals didn't change with the company. But now what do I think happened? Oh, there were synthetic shares. There was all sorts of crap going on. See, that's the one thing that scares me about this market is here's something that I do for a living, and now everything has changed. It's made me question everything. It makes me question everything. And I'm sure you guys are the same way. I question what's going on in the market, and I don't really understand. Like, do we have anybody international on this feed? I know we got 9 people right now. I just question what's going on. Because especially if I was like a foreign company, like let's say I'm in Germany because I'm of German descent, and I start a beer company, and I want to go public. I want to go public on the New York Stock Exchange, where they have no laws and rules for people to short my company. So yeah, I mean, I guess these big boys, they can go in and do an IPO and make their money off the jump. But maybe I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm actually an honest and good person and, want to actually build a business. Wow, go figure. that used to be the American way. So I want to build this business, and I'm going to put it on the New York Stock Exchange, and then have it get shorted to hell and get smacked around. And if they decide that they didn't get a big enough piece of the pie, that they'll just drive me down so that, I don't know, that Budweiser can go up. I mean, that's the one thing that I worry that's cracks me up is if the United States is supposed to be the superpower and everything is based off the US dollar, then clean your house up, man. Like, get it in order. Like, stop with the stock tips to our congressmen and women. Stop it with that. That's enough. You know, and I'm not doing the Republican Democrat thing. I mean, I think they're both bad news. But one of the senators I won't even name his name, but and you can figure it out. It's just that he said, well, if congressmen can't trade, like, why would they ever go into public service? Public service? You make like $200,000 a year. You ain't doing no public service. Give me a break. All of us will want that job. Free haircuts. Not for me, but for those others that have hair. Free haircuts. I mean, $200,000 and who would go into public service? Like, dude, you live in a different world, man. You live in a different world. You don't live in the world that your people voting for. Yeah, man, you can say something, dude. You can say whatever you want, man. Honestly, say whatever you want. That's how on your end you can say whatever you want. I mean, I'm trying to build a following, so I won't get offended, but it's very hard to offend me. That's the truth. I think when you put yourself out here on this type of medium, I think you better be ready to. I'm surprised nobody's come in here and just told me to stick it. But yeah, man, say whatever you want. You know, we could talk about anything. But I cheer for red days right now, guys. I really do. I cheer for them. Because I just think that everything has to go down before it can come up. And as much as it's like, no, how long can they keep this going? Well, they have positions too. And if they're selling off their positions, and I use Apple as always a very good barometer of our market. I don't have Apple on my screen. I have it on my phone. I use my phone for everything. So what's Apple trading at? Oh, Apple's up today. That's interesting. The whole market's red and Apple's up. For what reason? But even Microsoft, even Amazon, the FANG stocks, the Facebook. Not that Meta. I don't even know what Meta does these days. I don't even get that whole thing. Buying digital land. Nah. I'm good. I'll buy real land. I think that the times have changed with trusting these people with our money in respect to. All right, so here we go. Okay, so everybody should not get offended here. All right, I live in California. I was born in Oakland, California, but grew up in Mexico with the cartel and all the crap I've always been saying. Yeah, no, I agree with you. You're saying and what Mr. Simon is saying is that the United States financial system is also a cartel. Yeah, how do you disagree with that? And I don't think that's offensive. I think most Americans agree with that. I think a lot of people are just comfortable doing what they do. I mean, we all got our own nonsense, right? I mean, what's your day look like? I mean, it's like, I got to take this one to cheerleading, and I got to pick this one up from baseball, and this one's crying, and I got to go grocery shopping. I mean, any of us have any time to fix the United States financial system? I mean, we don't. So it's just, and I think that's what it is just we're so busy in our own lives that we just kind of like closed our eyes and just trusted that the people that we voted into office were going to take care of us. And it's human nature to honestly to take care of yourself. So I always say, like, stay positive, be a good person, man. I mean, it's just like be a good person. I don't care if you're Christian or Muslim, just be a good person. What's my dream for the squeeze? I own a company. Well, I can say it now. I don't really want to say that on the stream. I just feel like, but so I invented a product. I love playing baseball, so I invented a product called the Hip Striker. So I sell it on Amazon, and it's not like a big thing. It gives me monthly money, but it's not paying my mortgage. But I want to build that company, and I think the best way to build that company is with money, right? And with marketing money. And how am I going to get that money? Well, I've been trying to get that money through the stock market, and I would love to have a company that say just employed just a small company that employed like 10 people, but it paid them a good wage. Yeah, I'm gonna make the most. It's my damn company, but um, but to pay them like a good wage and try to make a difference in the baseball community. And the hip striker is just meant for people to hit with their hips and find more power, blah, blah, blah. You can look it up. It's pretty, I have a commercial, whole all that fun stuff. But my whole point is if you just be a good person and do the right things. I mean, that's the biggest thing that I find in disappointment is we trusted the US system. And if you grew up in California but born in Mexico, you come to America for the American dream. I mean, I don't know this because I'm not some world traveler, but I've always kind of said, just from what I know from books, are we the best of the worst, or are we the worst? I used to say we're the best of the worst in terms of countries and comparatively speaking, but I don't know, man. After this stuff, and the fact that nobody knows about it even this long, I mean, I'm sure, and there was a lot of jokes going around, and people don't even joke about it anymore, but people were saying, like, don't stop going to picnics and telling people the world's going to collapse because they all think we're crazy. And God, we were making jokes about that like 9 months ago. So, and now look, I don't say anything anymore. I don't recruit apes. I don't recruit anybody. I don't recruit apes because I don't want to hear it, because people look at me like, dude, didn't you just have this conversation with me last July 4th? You just watch the fireworks and shut the hell up. Yeah, all right. Well, stop asking me what I'm buying then. All right. But now I just tell people, I'm shorting the market. They're like, oh, that's a good play. How do you short the market? You invest in AMC and GameStop. I think that's how you short the market. Because other than that, like heavily shorted stocks, and that's just, like I say before, not financial advice. Not a financial advisor. I should be, but I'm not. I don't want to go back to school again, man. School's expensive. I already have my master's degree. I'm just done. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, that's what I tell people. I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Mr. Simon. I'm like, I short the market. Like, oh, I heard shorting's tough. Yeah, very risky. Yeah, you don't know where your money's going to go. Because that's what we're doing right now. I think we're shorting the market because we're betting against the people that have bet against us for a long time. And we're winning. The numbers say we're winning. It's just a question of the prices are fake. You can't have this buy pressure and have the stocks go down the way they are. I don't know. So I try to stay positive, because what's the point of being negative? We could do negative all day long. What do I think? I think they're just making sure that everything is buttoned up. And that's why I use the Pope saying, get all your money in the Vatican Bank, telling all his people, all his churches around the world, in the United States, get your money in the Vatican Bank by September 30th. And I saw another article that said October 1st. So let's just say 30th, October 1st. Because I'm like, what's behind that door? Like, what's on September 30th? What's happening after that, huh, guys? And that's just how I view it. Anybody else got any questions, anything to say? Bring up different topics. I'm cool. Like I said, I am the worst trader in the world right now because I don't really know anything about the two stocks that I pay attention to the most, which is AMC and GME. I don't think there really is anything in the market right now. You want to tell me otherwise? I mean, yeah, like I think everything is shorted. I do believe that. I used to, I bought Genius Brands. I was into them a while back. I mean, they bought Stan Lee's post Marvel like catalog, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty sweet. Watching Disney and all the Marvel movies. I mean, the Marvel movies, they're the ones that blow it up. They're the ones that actually make AMC a lot of money because people stand in line for those movies. And I thought, well, someone's going to buy them. And the stock at the time was trading at like $1. And I made some money on it, trading it back and forth. And what was interesting about it was, I'm going to answer your question about Bitcoin. What is interesting about the Genius thing was I really thought they were going to get bought out by Disney, because why wouldn't Disney want the remaining catalog of Stan Lee? And maybe they will try to get it eventually. Maybe that's something that down the line they'll go after, but I thought it was going to happen rather quickly. I made some money on it, traded it back and forth, but sold out of my position when AMC was showing up on my radar. Chat's asking how low you think Bitcoin can go. Man, I don't know. Honestly, I mean, obviously, what was the high was like 64, 65,000. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the high. So now it's down. Now it's below 19 again. 18,000. 18,974. I mean, I just want to see it go down. I just want to see it. I'd love to see it go below 15. I'd love for it to happen. But it just sounds like to me that that's going to be for all these companies start getting into the crypto side of things, that might be like the base coin for everybody. I mean, crypto, I mean, I hear this. They're like, oh, it's just software, like all these crypto coins. And yeah, it is software, but everything's software. I mean, retail stores are software. They're high tech. GameStop's a tech company. Yeah, they have brick and mortar, but that's awesome. Like, that's a billboard for your tech company. I would love to see GameStop, turn around and turn their places into like places where you could have like gaming tournaments and stuff. But let's be honest, I think GameStop is going to make their money in their marketplace. If you have any inkling about, like, if you have any kids that play this game, or you play I always use the example of Fortnite when I explain to people why I think GameStop is going to be awesome. So you go into Fortnite and you play this game and you get to have like a skin, which is like clothing. So let's say you buy this Stormtrooper skin and they're like, oh, there's only 1,000 of them out there. Okay. Yeah, that's a digital asset. Must be nice to make something like that and make money on it, but that's another story. But you go in there and you're gonna, you get to sell that limited Stormtrooper outfit, and then like if you have kids, your little kids being like, I don't want to be a Stormtrooper anymore. I want to be, I don't know, something else. I want to be Spider-Man. So you can sell that skin on the NFT marketplace, and maybe it's appreciated in value. Because right now, when you get these skins and these digital guns and all these digital assets, they just sit in your account. People make money on it, but you can never resell it. And I think the possibility of reselling that stuff would be, there's a huge market for that. And every time you make a transaction, the people that own the marketplace get a piece of it. The revenue is, oh my God, that revenue is going to be like off the chain. Yeah, Simon said, is that you hate when other stocks run hundreds of dollars in a few minutes, but AMC moves up $2 and then gets halted. Yeah, but what that says to you is, if you're going to take the positive to that, is that's the whole thing that I think we all want to know, is like, what is behind that door that you guys are so scared? Like, if AMC gets it to like $20, is the world going to collapse? I mean, my gosh, like what? It's almost like it's almost like, what did you do? Like, what did you guys do? It's wild, man. Yeah, if you're in the chat, please subscribe. And I love to hear people's opinions, and always send me questions and comments. I try my best to answer them and put my videos up. I'm a 48-year-old man. I got a perspective on life that maybe some of these younger YouTubers do not have. And the only sales pitch I would say to you is I've been kicked in the nuts, way more times than they have. So I win. But I'm a day trader. That's what I do for a living. Technical analysis right now is for squat. I will try not to curse, and I'll try to be a good streamer until, like, I think when you get really popular on YouTube, you can say whatever the heck you want. Money talks, baby. Money talks. But for now, I'll stay PG. So we start running. That's the day. That's the best day. Like, that's the best day. The day we run, I will get on this bad boy and be like, let's go. Because that is going to be the day. That is Christmas, Hanukkah, Easter, Rosh Hashanah, all wrapped up in one. And any other holiday you can name. And your birthday. The day that we run. I think we are close. But if I said that to my wife, she'd go, let me guess, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, baby. It's going to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, when do you think squeeze is going to happen? 2 weeks. I don't know, man. It's a crazy time. And I try to stay positive, but my money's in this, man. And I get pissed off like you guys do. I get pissed off. And I'm very careful to even listen to YouTube guys. I mean, you can learn a lot from a lot of people and get a lot of perspectives, but you got to watch out, because I find that, like, even right now I'm watching certain people and this push for, like, getting in crypto. I'm like, just be careful. Just be careful. Because I tell you what, let's just play this out. Let's say that this thing does squeeze. You don't think they're going to come after us with that money? Like, they know who made the money. We all our names and social security numbers, all that stuff are with, whatever brokerage firm or whatever app you're with. I mean, they know who has money now, and they're watching you. Let's just say that you make some money and you're like, oh man, I'm a trader now. You see, I just got myself some money. I got 40, 50, 60, 90, $100,000 in my account. Watch out. Here I'm going to go buy some Amazon on the dip. On the dip. I got this. And yeah, they're watching you. They're going to come get your money. So my one thing that I will say, as your friend, just when you do make money in the market, don't be so quick to jump back in the market. Just kind of take a breath. Just take a breath. Yeah. So Mr. Simon agrees with me. Yeah, they'll do some shady crap after the squeeze. That is why I'm withdrawing my money and not playing the market for a while. Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, unless you see something wild, right? I mean, if I see something wild going on with even, like, I don't know, any blue chip stock. I used Amazon the example, but if I see something wild, if I see some wild dip, I might get some, but it just scares me, man. This whole thing scares me. I just want to I want it to play out. And, if it plays out, I think we're good. If I'm, like I've said before, if you're just coming into this chat, I'm a business educator, so I'm used to talking to, like, high school kids, and I'd always tell them, like, just get rid of debt. And be like, nah. You hold on to this and hold that. You can make more money because mortgage rates are low, and those mortgage rates, they're not real. that's not like a real 6%. Like that's 6% now, but even when it was 3%, it's not real because when you're paying off your debt, you pay off the interest first, and then you don't start paying your principal off. And I'm talking like if you had like a 30-year, you don't start paying your principal off till years later after that. And it's just like, oh man, I'd rather just not owe anybody anything. It's a lot easier to think and sleep when you don't owe anybody anything. So, anybody have any more questions for me? Yeah, I appreciate you guys being on. I might stay on a little longer. I might try to do something. I don't know. And put in the chat like it, and yeah, if you don't want to be called on, I'm not gonna like call you out. But I know we have 8 people in here. At least that's how I view it. I wish the names would pop up, but I don't know how that. Like I said, I'm not live to all messages or something. Yeah. Sorry, I'm new to the stream, so I'm just trying to figure out like the buttons. You know, like every time I touch on something, it's like you don't have access to this. So yeah, if you guys can help me out and subscribe and like if you're in here, just if you don't like, don't like. But yeah, because for some reason it's so nutty. Like I can't do a lot of things that I would love to do because I guess I'm just not popular enough. But that's all good. But yeah, I've been posting videos. A lot of the stuff that I like to bring to the table, I try to like not talk about stuff that everybody else is talking about. But even the other day, I made a video on the dark pool and how APE was like 87.6%. And then I posted it and I looked up and I was like, oh my God. I was like, there was like 7 videos of the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's why I have like, 30 views. But I will try to like put stuff up that people aren't thinking about. I mean, that's the church thing to me has always kind of been like a big deal to me. Like, I just can't believe that's not, people aren't really jumping on that. The fact that the Vatican wants all their money in the Vatican Bank by September 30th is pretty wild to me. So I keep an eye on that. That's something to another catalyst down the road here. Powell's coming. Powell is going to talk, I think, on September 20th and 21st. I know they're having some like a meeting, and I think he's going to talk. I tried verifying that, but I just can't find it. The link that I used for that is like not good anymore. So now I just have to find something. So if you guys know the answer to that question, I'd appreciate that one. Save me some time. All right. So Simon's telling me it was 9,000 in taxes. That's why I can't sleep. Dude, I get it, man. I get it. I owed a buttload of taxes last year because of selling off AMC, but I held my shares thinking obviously it was going to go up and had to sell off some other positions so that's where you get trapped. That's why that's why I don't know if you guys know this, but if you trade inside your IRA, you can lose, you can win, you can lose, win. Hopefully you win more than you lose. And there's no penalty in the short term. It's just, when you withdraw, there's penalties. And it all depends on your age and when you do it. But you do pay income tax on it. Even at the best case scenario, you pay income tax on it. But if you're in an IRA and say you start your IRA and you max it out this first year and you put $6,000 in your IRA and you trade it, say you make 20% on your $6,000. So what is that? It's $1,200. Now you have 7,200 and you make that and you just kind of like compound that. You're not paying taxes on any of that money until you withdraw it. So say you trade for another 30 years, compound that $6,000 by 20%. And as an average, you're going to have a pretty significant amount of money. And that's what's nice. I mean, when you're trading in cash and say, perfect example, say you're trading right now and you make $100,000 on whatever you're doing and you're going to have to pay taxes on that. So if you have $100,000 profit, let's say that you're going to pay the maximum tax, and let's just say 40% because it's easy. You only walk in with 60 grand. So don't start getting cute with your money and start buying other things. And there's another downturn in the market where you said, oh, I thought they said this was the bottom. And you're now owing 40 grand and you don't only got $20,000 in your portfolio. So when you make profit, put those taxes on the side and you do whatever you want with it. You want to put it in a 6-month CD, or you just want to write a check and send it to the federal government just to get it out of your face. Because you are dancing with the devil if you're trading your tax money. Yeah, that's a tough biz. So, but let's hope we can get that $9,000. Let's hope we can get that profit so you can pay your taxes. Yeah, and they'll get you. They'll get you. Some people in this country don't have to pay their taxes, but us little folk do. Us 99%, the one that keep the wheels greased, we do. So, all right, man. I think I'm gonna sign off. Got some stuff to do for the rest of the day. I was hoping this is a good time to do it. I want to stream more. I'm just going to try to figure out how to better stream, especially with sharing screens and stuff. I think I have to get some software to do that. I'm trying to touch all these buttons, figure it out. There we go. But it's been good. All right, man. Yeah, let's go, Mafia. See you next time. All right, I'm signing off. I will see you guys. Subscribe to my videos, watch my vids, and I will see you again. All right, take care.